Hey everyone, we're back. It's Humanity Chats with Marjy. We just had this amazing conversation with Rhonda Rollins from the upstate of South Carolina. If you missed it, go back to our YouTube or Facebook page. Go listen, go watch. You can also catch Rhonda on our Humanity Chats with Marjy podcast, which is available on all the major podcasts. Today, we're going to have Dr. Sabrina Jackson from Detroit. She is the people expert. I cannot wait for you guys to hear from Dr. Sabrina. She is going to talk to us about New Year's resolutions. If you're here, let us know where you're watching from. Drop it in the chats. We want to hear from you. We want to uplift everybody. Let's bring Dr. Sabrina into the house. Let's go. Hey, Dr. Sabrina.
Hey, how are you?
I am great. It is good to see you. You look beautiful.
Well, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I appreciate it. But Game recognized Game. You look good too, girl.
Oh yeah, I got my lipstick on. Now, you got a really good lipstick on. What brand is that?
It is called Soft Kisses.
Oh my goodness.
Soft Kisses, and this is the color is called Blaze.
Oh. Okay. Now, where do I find that?
I'll have to send you her website because her name is the Glam Doctor.
Okay.
And she is a person who's a makeup artist and all of that, but she does a lot of my she does my makeup often. And so, of course, when she came out with her online, I had to support. And so I love this lip color on me. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you. I'll look for that email so that I
absolutely will. Let me give myself a note now to make sure I send it to you, because we'll get off of here and I will forget.
Well, viewers, listeners, this is Humanity Chats with Marjy. We do this every Thursday. We get together, we talk about everyday issues that impact humans. If you're watching from YouTube, hey, welcome. Make sure you're sharing this and you're subscribing to our channel. If you're watching from Facebook, thank you. Share. And you know what? If you're listening to this on our podcast, you know you got to drop that review and you got to tell others about us. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Sabrina Jackson with us. Thank you, Dr. Sabrina, for joining us. And before we get started, we would love to know 3 fun facts about you.
First fun fact is that I love to sing. I love to sing so much that I don't care what I'm doing. I can throw a song in it. Oh my goodness, I love singing. Number 2, I'm single and ready to mingle. Yes. Fact number 3 is that I love Reese cups. I love Reese cups so much that I will only eat a Reese cup if it's fresh. And I can tell you how to pick a fresh Reese cup. So all my friends, people who see me in the media, people who know me know that I am a Reese cup fiend. But if you bring me an old Reese cup, I am not even going to open it because I need my peanut butter to taste like it just came out the jar.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to get some lessons from you about choosing a Reese. Yeah, because I love chocolate. So I probably need some lessons because I don't know which one is fresh and which one has been there for 3 Halloweens, you know?
Yes. And this, I only eat Reese cups that have just recently been put out in the store. They came from the manufacturer and just recently been delivered. So people will keep them on their shelves for a long time. So I immediately look at the date. So like today's date is January 2021. I am not going to eat a Reese cup that is expiring in, say, like 2020.
Okay.
What? That's old. That's old. I'm not eating that. No. So I really look for things that are ahead. I look at dates like if it's January, I'm looking for dates of 11/21. So if it's out now and the date says 11/21, that's fresh. Oh yes, eat that one. Eat that one. The chocolate is fresh. The peanut butter is fresh. I am a Reese cup connoisseur. I'm just saying.
I hear you. Now, Dr. Jackson, first question, how did you become the people expert?
The real story behind this, and it's a story behind it. Of course, I am a psychologist by trade. You know, I work with people. I've done counseling for 30 years, all of that. And so I've worked with everybody from babies to the elderly, all different type of topics. And so one day I was being interviewed on a TV show, and the lady who was interviewing me started going through my credentials, and she just said, "Oh heck, she just a people expert," and it stuck. And so I kept it, and then I began to brand it. And so not only do I say I'm the people expert, my definition of what a people expert is that I help people with people, even if that person is themselves, because oftentimes we think it's somebody else that needs help, and it's us standing in the need of the help. And so that's what I do.
Oh, so we're going to learn more about that today because we're talking about your thoughts on resolutions.
Yes, resolutions are good. But the thing we need to understand is that resolutions really date back to the Babylonian stage. And in the Babylonian stage, they just felt like at the beginning of the year, if you want to have good luck in the new year, you need to look at your life and some things that weren't working for you or didn't work well, you should make the commitment in the new year to change that thing. And so that's what we've been doing for year after year after year. But now I think that we can be a little more savvy about it. And so when I talk about resolutions, it's really for you to determine what you resolve in yourself to do for yourself. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. I don't necessarily have to tell nobody what my resolution is. I don't even have to tell people what I'm working on for me, because it's between me and God. It's between me and what I say I want, and it doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. So oftentimes people will tell people, and then they may fall off, and then the person will say, "I told you wasn't going to do it." Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. But yeah, it's important that we really look at ourselves, and a part of that is just assessing where we are and where we want to be and things of that nature.
Oh, now I know that you like to talk about Soar. Would you mind elaborating on that?
Oh, I am the acronym queen. I come up with acronyms all the time. And so SOAR is really an acronym that talk about the things you need to put in place so that you can move into your new year and soar in your new year when you're doing things that's going to keep your mental health intact. So the first is the S, and the S is self-care. You absolutely need to do self-care. And when I say self-care, I don't mean just get your nails done, get your massages, get a facial. You need all of those. Please do those. But it is deeper than that. And what I say about self-care is a requirement, not a recommendation. Because right now it's a trendy term. You hear people saying self-care. But self-care is a little deeper. And so it's really when you tap into your internal intuition, when something inside of you is saying, you better not go over there, but then you go anyway. And now you all jacked up because you didn't pay attention to the voice inside of you. So it's being able to know when to say no, and know that no is a complete sentence. I can tell you no, and don't have to give you an explanation because it's my answer. When you ask me, I have a right to say yes or no. Then you have to know when to say yes, because oftentimes we will say no to the stuff we should have said yes to because of fear, negative self-talking, things of that nature. But then we'll say yes to the stuff we should have said no to. So you need to have the discernment of when to know the difference between both. And so there's a lot of things that go into really practicing healthy self-care. And say this, because people, when you hear self-care, people say, well, you're being selfish. So I should, because I'm the only me I have. And so I have to take care of me before I take care of anybody. Because I got to be whole and good to make sure I can help somebody else be whole and good. So the S is self-care. You ready for the O?
Yes, but before we get into the O, viewers, if you're here, share this with your network. Dr. Sabrina Jackson is dropping some nuggets on us. Now we got to take this self-care seriously. What is the O?
The O is to obtain connections with quality people. So you need to make sure that you routinely examine your circle of friends. And as you're routinely examining your circle, sometimes somebody that was in your circle last year really doesn't line up to be in your circle this year. And you should be able to X them out of the circle. But when you X them out of the circle, you don't have to call them up and tell them, guess what? You're no longer in my circle, because that's mean. And if you're mean, when you do something mean, trust mean coming back to you. So you make sure things leave you right so things can come to you right. But when you are examining your circle, you make sure that you have people in your life that can encourage, uplift, inspire, even challenge you and correct you. But it's how they do it. I always say that iron sharpeneth iron, but it should not cut. So I should be able to make you better, but I should not make you bleed.
Encourage, uplift, inspire. Now, those are some powerful words. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, what is the next word in Soar?
The next is the A, and the A is that you need to assess where you are currently, where you've been, and where you want to go. So when you do that 3-level assessment, you should do that on a regular basis. I say maybe every 90 days, take a moment and just do an assessment to see where you are. And then once you make those assessments and you find out what you, because a lot of times we will assess something and we failed at something, and we will stay stuck on the failure. We'll go, oh, I didn't do it right, or oh, I messed up, or it didn't work out for me. But you need to change your mindset about failure. Failure doesn't mean don't do it again. Failure just means don't do it that way again. We can do it a different way. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your vision. Just tackle it a different way. So instead of calling it failure, call it a lesson learned. And then once you come up with your lesson learned, once you come up with where you want to go, then you move into our last letter, which is the R. And the R is to reach for your goals on purpose. Reach for your goals, and you have realistic vision. So, when I say realistic, I'm not saying don't make them big, because to be real honest, in order to have something you never had, you got to do something you never done. So yeah, you can make it big, but then be realistic about, do I have the time to go after it? Am I going to really take the certification that's necessary? So be honest with yourself about what work are you willing to put in to make your vision a reality, because you got to put the work in to make it happen. It just don't happen just by osmosis. Even if we look at the law of attraction, if we look at manifesting your vision, even when you talk about that, you got to write the vision to make it plain. You got to say affirmations. You got to meditate. You got to do, that's work. And you got to be committed to making it happen. So I have a book that I created for just that, for your visions. And it's called My Essential Vision Atlas. And atlases are books of maps. And so I created an atlas that's a book of maps to your vision. And so I give you enough space so you can put the pictures in, you can write, you can put the words in. But then what I tell you in the book is to make sure once it manifests, to go back to that page and write the date in red. And at the end of the year, when you get to flipping through your book and you see all the red, it's overwhelming. It's a wonderful thing. So yes, be realistic about your vision, but you got to have them. The only way dreams can come true is if you dream.
So your book, is it like a vision board, but in the form of a book?
Yes. Let me show you. This is it. Huge. Big pages, spiral, and the pages are thick. Gives you space to put you can color, you can put your pictures, you can do all of that in the book. And then at the beginning of the book, I give you some instruction on how to do the book, because I talk about the 12 major areas of life. There's 12 major areas, and I give you enough pages to do 2 pages per area. So yeah, that's the book.
This is surprising, but last year I went to the Oprah Vision 2020 tour out in Charlotte, and she had books for us where we were writing our affirmations. So this is something similar. Where can our listeners find this book?
They can get it right on my website, which is SabrinaJackson, all one word.com. SabrinaJackson.com. Click on books. It'll take you to all the books that I have, but it's definitely the atlas is there. And when you order it online at my website, I autograph it for you and send it right out to you.
Oh, so that's going to be a special book. Now, Dr. Jackson, her website is down there below. It says www.sabrinajackson.com. So viewers, you can see that. Hit that website, go buy Dr. Sabrina's book. I haven't used it, but I went to that Oprah tour and a lot of people were using a book similar to that. And so you might want to check this out. Now, if you're a listener on the podcast, hey, you can still go to that website. Sabrina Jackson is really easy to spell. Okay, let me try my spelling. SabrinaJackson. Yeah,
Yes.
I passed that spelling bee. Yeah, so go find Dr. Sabrina's books. I think you're going to even learn about her brands. And she's been on TV. She has a show. You want to tell us about your show and how you've been talking about resolutions on your show?
Well, actually, I'm not doing a show right now. I used to have a show called the Essentially Sabrina Show, and I stopped doing it about a year ago. But I'm in the process of doing a new show. And the new show, in fact, we're going to start taping. It's going to be a TV show, and we're going to start taping this coming Sunday. We got studio time scheduled, just all that craziness. But I really have been talking on a lot of different platforms and different shows. So I am on the news here locally at Fox 2 News every week. And so I did talk about resolutions because it's the beginning of the year and we talked about it there. But tomorrow I'll be on tomorrow morning and we're going to be talking about secondary traumatic stress because many of us have witnessed all the mayhem that happened in the Capitol yesterday, and that's trauma for people. I mean, somebody was killed, a couple of people died, it was just a lot of mayhem. And when you watch traumatic situations, you have secondary traumatic stress disorder. So I'm going to talk about what that is and then different things you can do to deal with it because we don't talk about it and people are feeling some kind of anxiousness and things of that nature. How do you then deal with it? So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about next.
Wow, that's amazing. Is that going to be local? Is there a way that people can
watch? If you go to fox2detroit.com and you can click and watch it live. I'll be on tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time, about 9:30 a.m.
Okay. Well, see, we have some comments here. Victor Dura is saying he thinks Janice would like the book. He thinks he's probably been to your website. So he's asking, can you talk more about grant training on Saturday?
Okay. This Saturday, I have a couple of businesses. And one of the businesses called the Nonprofit Creators. And so I help nonprofits get started and set them up. And so, of course, when people become a nonprofit or a 501c3, they want to learn about grants. But I am too busy to write grants for people. So I decided that I would teach it. So I'm doing my first virtual grant writing 101. It's just 101 because it's the beginning training this coming Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2. It's 4 hours. And you get to ask whatever question. You're going to get a workbook, and we're going to really go through all the things you need to know about the grant writing process, about the different elements of a grant, because I really feel that even if you don't want to write the grant yourself and you want to hire a grant writer, you need to have some information so people won't trick you and hoodwink you. So the more information you have makes you an informed consumer.
I hope that answered your question, Vic. And for other listeners and viewers, hey, check Dr. Jackson out for this grant training program. Is there a fee associated with that?
Yes, the fee is $100, and it's $100 for the half day. You'll get a workbook. You'll get some assessments that I I find out where you're at and what you want to do and things of that nature. And the workbook is really, really comprehensive because in the back of the workbook is a glossary of terms. Because one of the things that I feel like if you're in that industry and you don't know the terms, people be talking and they talking over your head. So I have all the terms in there. So if you don't know what someone is saying, you can grab your workbook and go to the and find out what that person is talking about.
That's great. Now we have a viewer saying she's taking notes for sure. We have somebody saying that they're loving this. Well, thank you. We have Caleb here saying Soar in 2021. So, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing resolutions with us. People are amazed. Someone is saying, wow. We have the comments just coming in. Vic is saying that he's looking forward to it. So I'm thinking that he's probably going to participate in your grants workshop. That is amazing. Now, yes. Now, do you have, you are the people expert. Mm-hmm. And as you said, this has been quite the year. We just got started, but it's been quite the year already. Mm-hmm. Do you have any advice for people watching today who begun this year so hopeful? And what advice do you have for us?
Well, one of the things that I tell people all the time is that you have to hold on to hope. Hold on to hope because without hope, you become helpless, you become hopeless. And so when you look at all the different things that are going on, and so hope is an acronym, I'm the acronym queen. So the H is that you have to highlight the good things in your life. And so there are still good things going on. The fact that you woke up and can get up is a good thing. So I don't believe that saying that, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. There is no wrong side of my bed. If I woke up and could get up, it's the right side of the bed. So spend some time highlighting those things that are still good in your life, whether that be the relationships, your children, your spouse, or whatever. The fact that you got a job. Find the things to be grateful for. The O is that you need to make sure you obtain connections to three things. You need to attain a connection to quality people, obtain a connection to a higher power, and obtain a connection with a deeper sense of self. So get to know yourself better, understand yourself, know what your triggers are, know what things stress you out, know what things make you happy, all of that. And then the P is that you need to pursue your passions on purpose. Dive into what things you're passionate about, what things you're excited about, and do them. Make a plan and get them done. And then the E is that you need to elevate your mood and your thoughts, because there are only two emotions, love and fear. All positive emotions lead back to love, and all negative emotions lead back to fear. So whenever you're feeling irritated, agitated, frustrated, angry, all of those negative things, they're fear-based. And the only thing that's going to eradicate them is love. So you have to begin to make sure that you're loving on God, you're loving on yourself, you're loving on others, because love is always seeking love. So when you put love out there, love will become looking for you. And so when you feel like you're hopeless and you're helpless and you don't know what to do, put some love on it. I got love on it.
Mm. Oh my goodness, you could be a preacher.
I am a ordained preacher.
Okay.
I am. Yep, I am.
You are inspiring. And viewers, you wouldn't know it. Yes, you wouldn't know it, but I'm just getting to know Dr. Jackson. I did not know her prior to this week, but I feel like we've known each other for a long time already.
Kindred spirits, we're spiritual beings that occupy a physical dwelling. So I know all of the listeners can think about a time you might have walked into a place, and when you walked in, you go, something not right in here, and you need to be walking out. But then you can walk into a place and see somebody, and that person just draws you in. You're drawn to them. And so that's how we are. That's how you and I are. We're just with our both these personalities. Oh my God, we're blowing up the screen here.
Well, praise the Lord, right?
Yes.
Now, before you came on today, I did a little bit of I did a little reading about you, and
Okay.
I realized that you would be a great speaker for us. Maybe sometime down the line because of your advocacy, child abuse, domestic violence, and so I'm looking forward to having you back on the show.
Absolutely. I would love to come back. And I do talk a lot about abuse, sexual abuse, incest, rape, all of those, because, of course, that's a part of my story. And I share my story to let people know that, yeah, you can get past it. But there's some things you need to do, because if you are looking at your life and you don't like things that you see, or you don't like things that you've been through, you got to shine a light on it so it doesn't stay in the darkness. Because when it's in the darkness, it festers, it grows, it becomes infected. But when you shine a light on it, healing can occur. So I want people to be healed so they can live their best life. Because trust to believe, I'm living mine.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Well, we all want to live our best life. And, I cannot believe that this is season 3 of Humanity Chats already. Listen,
Oh my God.
yes, we started this.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We started this in April of 2020. And it was just, I have a book, Same Elephants. How do I show it? Yeah. And it's right behind me. And my book tour got canceled because of uh,
COVID.
yeah, because of COVID. And so I thought we're going to talk a little bit about the human stories in the book, because it has, there's a Jewish kid in the book. There are two black ladies. Um, there's an atheist. They're all friends. They make things work. There's an incident where the two black ladies were discriminated against, and so it was just a perfect book to talk about, to try and get our feelings out and to foster unity. And we just kept talking, and here we are. We have Dr. Sabrina Jackson on the show, and we have received some nuggets for you. We're very grateful. I want to thank our sponsor, Spartanburg Nephrology Associates. We are very grateful for you. That's their address on the ticker. They're in Spartanburg, South Carolina. They're on 322 North Pine Street. You can find them online. Just Google them, Spartanburg Nephrology Associates. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Marjy TV team. Andrea Beasley, she works behind the scenes. She does a great job. She is amazing. She keeps me on my toes. And I want to give another shout out to the guy who, Adama Pia, the guy who makes our theme songs. Anytime we need a beat, he can make a fresh beat, a custom beat for you. And this way you're not going to be flagged by YouTube or any of the social media folks that you have infringed copyrights because it's your own tune. So thank you, Adam. And also, I want to tell you about next week's guests. Next week, we have 3 amazing people coming on the show. We have Tashma Glintz, Caroline Goodman, and Siwan Baker. They're all coming in to talk about something pretty special. Tashma and Caroline are going to be talking about the quarantine hustle. They talk about business, parenting, unemployment, and so much more. They're two amazing women. I have met them personally, and their stories will blow you away. So tune back in next week to listen to Tashma and Caroline. Also, next week, you wouldn't believe this, we have Siwan Baker, who wrote the book Behind the Shades, the story of a female Secret Service agent.
Ooh.
I just think it's perfect timing. We're going to have the first female vice president, and this woman has worked as a Secret Service agent. I mean, look at what happened at the Capitol yesterday. It's perfect timing to come in and listen to Siwan next week. So tune in to Humanity Chats at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we would have an amazing conversation with these 3 women. Now, before we let you go, Dr. Jackson, I will remove myself from the screen so that you can give a parting message, and then I'll bring myself back on. How about that?
Okay. Well, I just want everyone to know that as you're moving into 2021, Every single thing that you do, you need to care. And care is an acronym. The C is that you must be coachable. Because how do you get better if no one can tell you anything, then no one can correct you? How do you get better? So absolutely make sure that you can take and then implement feedback gracefully. That's being coachable. The A is that you need to have an attitude of gratitude. Because if you are being grateful, you can't complain. But if you complain, you can't be grateful. So make sure that you have moments of gratitude every single day, because there's health and mental benefits to gratitude. And then the R is to righteously be responsible. Own your stuff. If you did it, say you did it. If you made a mistake, say you made a mistake, because that's the only thing that you can do when you're responsible. When you're responsible, you are real about a thing, because that's the only way you can heal from a thing, unless you're real about a thing. And then the E, I used to say embrace excellence. But what I've learned is if you embrace it, you can let it go. So now I say embody excellence. When you embody excellence, when you show up, your best shows up. You bring your A game to every game. And that's what you want to do as you're moving into 2020. When you show up, baby, your best shows up. Thank you.
Hey, we are going to show up in 2021.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, Dr. Jackson, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. I love your show.
Well, viewers, learn more about Dr. Jackson. Visit her website, buy her books. She has this grant training program going on this weekend, and we invite you to look at that as well. It has been a joy with this season opener. First, we had Rhonda, and now we have Dr. Jackson. I'm so looking forward to next week and what season 3 has to offer. Remember, review, review, review. Listen to our podcast, share, subscribe to the YouTube. And once you join the Marjy TV family, we are family for life. And so let us know your stories. Reach out to us. Go to marjymarj.com. Reach out to us. We would love to have you on the show, whether it be season 4, 5, 3. Please reach out to us. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We wish you a blessed week and stay safe.